Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. So in this video, we are going to implement a API that will do a auto suggest for us. So here in the example, you can see in the Google, I have searched for the term you, and I'm getting the auto suggestions like YouTube, video download, YouTube Studio, YouTube Advanced Music. So all the terms which are uh, down in the search history, it is auto suggesting me based upon the partial search that I am doing. Okay, so this is what we are going to implement in this video with the help of Spring Boot and Elasticsearch. There are a lot more videos on my channel where I have discussed about the Elasticsearch queries, and I have discussed about the Elasticsearch integration in the Spring Boot and how to write the query DSL of the Elasticsearch in the form of Spring Boot API. So everything we have covered in the previous video. You can go and watch out my channel, and in the playlist you can find those things. In this video we are going to develop a API that will do auto suggest for us, and the tech stack that we are using is Spring Boot and Elasticsearch. Okay, so let's get started for that. So let me try to go to the next slide and try to brief you about what all the steps that I'm going to follow here. So first of all, uh, I will try to do a couple of things in the Elasticsearch and Kibana. So in there is a video on my channel where I have discussed about the edge engram and how to implement or how to write the query for the edge engram and how edge engram is helping us in doing auto suggest. I already have covered in that video. So make sure you watch that video first and get some idea about the edge engram. And here, because in this video we are going to apply the edge engram logic to write the auto suggest API. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to discuss the edge engram here as well. Okay, so you can see the first step is to create a edge engram filter and edge engram analyzer on the index called product. So what I will do, I will try to create a basic Spring Boot API that will try to manage the products. Okay, so that API will basically do a insert and get on the index called products. Okay, so I will try to show you what all the attributes will try to write in the entity of the product. So everything we'll discuss. So basically the index that we are going to create is products. Okay, so first of all we'll try to create a edge engram filter and edge engram analyzer on the index our index which is products. Then we'll do a mapping of the analyzer on the top of the field on which you want to create a token or want to do auto suggest. Okay, so let's say you want to do auto suggest or you want to do auto suggest search based upon the product name. So you have to do a mapping of the analyzer on the name. Now the next step is put some document in the index created. So let's say we have created the index called products. So we'll try to insert couple of document inside the index products. Either we can do directly through the Elasticsearch Kibana, or we can create the Spring Boot API that will interact to the Elasticsearch and then try to insert couple of product in the index products. Okay, so that also we can do. Now the next step is do auto suggest search using the partial name. So let's say you have inserted the product called mobile and you want to get the result related to mobile by not passing the whole text as mobile but passing the partial text like mob, and still you are getting the relate search or the result related to the mobile. So that you can do. So these are the steps that we need to do in the Elasticsearch and Kibana. Now the next step is what we need to do in the Spring Boot. So in the Spring Boot we need to create a Spring Boot app with the Elasticsearch driver. Okay, that will try to include as a dependency, and then we'll try to create the CRUD application, and then we'll try to develop the autosuggest API. So let me try to go through these things and one by one so that you can or we can cover this whole video and implement the autosuggest API. Okay, so let me try to come out of this and Let me try to minimize this. So these are the steps that we need to follow, right? So first of all, let me try to go to the, let me try to show you where our Elasticsearch and the Kibana are installed. So I have installed the Elasticsearch and Kibana on the Docker. If you don't know how to install them on Docker, I already have a video on my channel. You can go and watch it out. I have simply written a Docker compose file. Running that Docker compose, it will automatically try to pull the Kibana and Elasticsearch for you and then try to make it up. Okay, so our Elasticsearch and the Kibana are up and running. And if you will go to the browser, you can see this. Our Elasticsearch is up on the port number 9200 and the Kibana is up on the port number 5601. Okay, so we are good. Now, what is the next step? So what we need to do? First of all, I need to create a EnggAdda filter and EnggAdda analyzer on the index, which is products. Okay, so let me try to go to the Kibana. So when you will open the Kibana, you can see this option on the top left. You have to click here, and if you will go down in the management, you will find this dev tool. Just open it, and here you can, in the first half or the left half, you can write the query, and the right half you can get the result for the query that you are going to run. Okay, so this is about the Kibana. And our Elasticsearch, make sure your Elasticsearch is up and running, then only you can interact with the Kibana dashboard. Okay, so this is about the things. Now I already have like there is a video on my channel where I have discussed about the EnggAdda. If you don't know what is an EnggAdda, you can watch that video, or you can directly go to the Elasticsearch website, and here you will find the things related to the EnggAdda, what it is and how to implement it. So using this only, we are going to develop the autosuggest API. Okay, so make sure you watch that video or go through these things. Okay, so now let me try to go to the PPT again and try to show you. So first of all, we are going to write the EnggAdda filter and EnggAdda analyzer. Okay, so I already have created the query for it. If you don't know how to create it, you can visit here and you can see this query. So you can copy the same query and try to modify something and then try to create the filter and analyzer. So let me try to go to the Kibana, and here I already have created that query. So let me try to go down. You can see. So as of now, I don't have the index created. So first time when I'm going to create the EnggAdda filter and EnggAdda analyzer, I'm creating the index here. You can see. So you can see in the setting, I'm doing a like creating a filter, which is its name is EnggAdda filter. Type is EnggAdda, and mean gram is 1 and max gram is 6. So what is mean gram and max gram? I will try to explain you later on. Now here you can see we are going to create an analyzer as well, and its name is EnggAdda analyzer. And in the filter we have provided the EnggAdda filter that we have created above. Okay, so this is about the filter and the analyzer. So let me try to run it. And here you can see acknowledge is true and the index product is created. Now what is the next step that we need to do? So next step, we need to do a mapping of the analyzer on the top of the field on which you want to create a tokens or want to do auto suggest. So let's say we want to search the product based upon the name. So I will try to create a mapping. You can see the properties is name, and the same name you have to provide in the entity that we are going to create the in the elastic in the springboot. So I will try to tell you those things and try to show you what we have to create and what is here in the Elasticsearch and Kibana. Okay, so the relation I will try to tell you. So now you can see we have to create the mapping on the products index that we have created. In the properties, we are providing the name, which would be the product name, and the type is text. And analyzer that we have created, it is as EnggAdda analyzer. You can see here. Uh, so that analyzer we are passing here. Now let me try to run this mapping. So you can see acknowledge is true. So we have created the filter, we have created the analyzer, And now we have created the properties, or you can say mapping. Now let me try to do a search and try to show you what all the documents we have. So you can see we are not having any document. So the hit is 0. That means we have not inserted any products in the index products that we have created. Now what I need to do? I will try to I will try to do something. So let me try to open the IntelliJ and try to create the Spring Boot application. And there I will try to develop two APIs. One is to insert the product in the index products, and another is to find out the product from the index products. Okay, so that we are going to do. And after that, we'll try to develop the autosuggest API. So we are not directly going to insert the products using the Kibana. We are going to create a Spring Boot application. We'll try to Elasticsearch, and then we'll try to insert couple of document, you can say, or the products in the index products. So now you can see I have IntelliJ to the file. Let me try to go there. It is some time. So go to the file new, and I'm using the IntelliJ Ultimate version. So directly I can create the Spring Boot product project here. So let me try to do Spring Initializer. Let me try to create the product project. So let's say the project name is Spring Boot autosuggest. Autosuggest using Elasticsearch. Okay, Maven, and let's say yeah, everything is good. Let me go next. Here you need to include couple of dependencies. So first of all, I'm going to use the Spring Web. Let's say the second dependency that we need is Elasticsearch. So you need to select this Spring Data Elasticsearch, and let me try to use the Lombok as well. So these three dependency I need. Just create it, open in a new tab, and let me try to just wait for few seconds. Maven project. It will take few seconds to download all those dependency and configure the application. Let me try to close this one, and let me try to open this, maximize this, and just wait for few seconds. So we'll try to create the entity, we'll try to create the repository, service implementation, and controller. Okay, so just yeah, I think it is good. Now let me try to go to the source, main, Java, and here let me try to create the package first. So new package, let's say it is entity, and let's say the package is repo, and service and controller. Okay, now in the entity, let me try to create the product entity here. Okay, now let me try to create the attributes here. So private int id, or you can use integer, private string name. So this is the name that on which you want to do auto suggest. So if you'll go there to the Kibana, you can see we have written this mapping on the name. So that is why the same field you have to write in the entity as well. So the field here is name, same you have to write in the entity. Now let me try to spray string, and let's say let me try to do it as an integer price. I'm not going to do a double here. So integer and the quantity. So this four field we have created. Now let me try to create all argument constructor, no argument constructor. and data for getter and setter, and then we need to create the document here, and we need to provide the index name. Okay, so index name, and the index that we have created in the Kibana or Elasticsearch, you can see it is products. So same name you have to provide here as well. So we are good. Okay, so we have created the index. Now let me try to go to the repository and try to create the repo here. So it would be interface, let's say product repo. It should be extending the Elasticsearch repository, and we need to provide the entity and the ID of the entity. So the entity is product and the ID, like type of ID. So if you'll go to the product, you can see the ID and its type is integer. So that we need to provide here as a second argument. Okay. Now let me try to go to the service and create the product service here. So product service, and let's say it is an interface, and here let me try to create the methods. So first method would be let's say it is first one is inserting the product in the Elasticsearch DB, and second one is to find out the products. Okay, so let me try to do product, insert product, and here let me try to provide the product. Let me try to import the product here. Okay, so this is inserting the product, and then now we need to have a get product, and we want to get the product like list of product, let's say. Okay, so iterable product get products. Okay, so we are good. Now let me try to create the implementation class here. So first of all, I will try to create the package impl, and there I will try to create the product service impl class. Okay, so product service impl. So first of all, let me try to go to the product service, and yeah, let me try to come here, annotate this with @service, and now I need to auto wire the product repository so that we can call the JPF provided, or you can say Elasticsearch provided methods. So private product repo, and let me try to override the method which are inside the product service. So implement product service and import this class interface. Now you need to override the methods. So why it is giving such error? Implement methods, and these two methods we have created. Now we need to override it here. So first method is inserting the product. Okay, so let me try to do an insert here. So using products repository, I will try to call the same method and then pass the product here and then return it. Now second one is to find out all the product which are there in the DB or in the Elasticsearch. So let me try to use the product repo dot find all, and then we have to return it. So we are good now. Now let me try to go to the controller and create the product controller here. So product controller, and let me try to annotate this with @rest controller. Okay, and let's say request mapping, and let me try to put as a API. Okay, now let me try to create these two API. First one is to find all, and second is to insert. So before that, let me try to auto wire the service here. So private product service, and let me try to import it. And now let me try to create the get mapping, which will be finding all the products. Okay, and iterable product get all products, and what it will do, it will try, let me try to first import the product here. Return product service dot, what is the method we have? It is get product. Okay, so we are good now. Now let me try to create the post mapping, which will be inserting the product in the Elasticsearch. And let's say its mapping is insert product, insert product, and return product service dot insert product. We are good. Now let me try to run this application and try to hit the APIs. So let me try to open the Postman here. Okay, so once the Postman is up, we'll try to insert couple of products, and then we'll try to create the autosuggest API. Okay, so just wait for that. Okay, so let me try to create, or here you can see I already have. So here, let me try to insert, or here you can see I have something, yeah, API, insert, and ID name, quantity, and price would be above. Let me try to arrange this, and the price is for us it is integer. Now let me try to put the quantity down. So let's say the product is mobile, and the ID is 101. Okay, name is mobile, price is 20,000, and quantity is 1. Now let me try to go to the IntelliJ, and here you can see our application is up on the port number 8080, and I'm going to hit the, first of all let me try to hit the all API, and then we'll try to, or what I can do, okay, so here I'm missing the forward slash after insert, oh sorry, before insert. So let me try to put it and then try to rerun this application, and then I will try to insert the product first, and then we'll try to find all the products. Okay, so yeah, we are good. So our mapping would be API and then insert. So let me go to the Postman, and here you can see our application is locally up on the port number 8080, API, which is a class level mapping, and then for the post mapping it is insert, and in the payload we are providing the product details. Now let me try to hit enter, and we can see it is inserted, but it is null and null. So why it is? Security feature are not enabled. Without authentication your cluster could not be accessible to anyone. To enable security, As we can see, this is the warning only, right? So this should not affect our flow. So it should be inserted, but there is a problem. You can see in the post mapping, we are not passing this product as a request body. We are directly passing it. So that is why it is not taking up. So let me try to use the request body here and try to run this again and then try to insert the product. Okay, and then we'll try to go to the Kibana and try to search for it. Okay, so yeah, it is up and running. Now let me try to go to the postman and try to hit it. And now this time you can see it is inserted. So let me try to go to the Kibana and here let me try to do a search in the index products. Okay, so just do a search and here we go. We have two hits, and the first one is where we have inserted the null, and second one is where we have inserted the actual value. Okay, so let me try to insert couple of more thing here. So let's say this time the ID is 102 and product is laptop. Okay, and let's say the price is 60,000, and let me try to insert it. Let me try to insert the tablet again. Tablet price is let's say 30,000 and insert it. It is also inserted. So now we have three product inserted in our index. Okay, so how we can check it? So let me try to go to the Kibana and try to do a search here again. So here you can see we have four hits, and the first one is null one, second is mobile, third is like you can say the first is mobile, second is laptop, and third is tablet. So we have inserted three products as of now. Now we want to do a search based upon the name, and we are not going to provide the full name. We are going to provide the partial name of the product, and still we should be able to get the uh, results. Okay, so let me try to insert couple of more products here. Let's say we want to insert the chargers for respective products. So let's say this time we are going to like take as a product, let's say it is a tablet charger, something like that. Okay, and the price is, let's say it is 1000, and then insert it. It is inserted. Now let me try to insert the charger for laptop and the mobile as well. Okay, so let's say mobile charger price is 1000 and then quantity is 1. Similarly, let me try to insert the charger for laptop here, and let's say the price is 5000. Okay, insert it. So we have inserted six product as of now. Let me try to go to the Kibana and try to do a search here, and you can see we have mobile, we have laptop, tablet, and tablet charger, mobile charger, and laptop charger. Okay, so we have six product as of now. Now let me try to tell you which query we are going to write for the auto suggest, and later on we'll try to convert that query in a Spring Boot API. Okay, so here you can see we have this six product inserted, and now let me try to run this query. And this query is let me try to provide the index here. This query is to generate the tokens for the particular word. Okay, so here you can see in the above we have created this n-gram analyzer, and here you can see we have provided the mean gram and the max gram. What it means? It means that let's say the word is of 6 character. Okay, so it will generate the token starting from 1 to up to 6 characters. Okay, so let's say the word is tablet, and tablet is of 6 character, right? So when we defines the mean gram as 1 and max gram as 6, then when we'll run this query, which is the analyze query, it will try to generate the token for the particular word that we have already defined. And here we are defining the analyzer as a n-gram analyzer, which we have created above. Here you can see here you can see, right, in the here in analyzer we have created the ngram analyzer. So this will pick up this ngram analyzer. It will try to create the token for this particular text that we are passing, which is tablet, and this is of 6 character. And in the analyzer, here in the filter also we have provided the mean gram as 1 and max gram as 6. So it will try to generate the token for this tablet, which is up to 6 characters. Okay, so let me try to show you that. So here you can see it has generated the token, which is T, TA, TAB, TABL, TABLE, and then TABLET, up to 6 character, right? If let's say it is of 7 characters, but you have defined the mean gram as 1 and max gram as 6, then it will generate up to a 6 character only, which would be tablet, not more than that. Now let me try to run the query, which will try to do auto suggest. Okay, so let me try to go down, and here you can see in the query we are going to run the match query. And if you don't know what is match all and how to write the query DSL for this, I already have covered all those things there in my channel. And here you can see we are matching based upon the name, and in the query we are passing the partial text. So let's say you want to search for the tablet. Okay, so just provide tab, and then let me try to do a search here. And here we go, we are able to hit two values. The first one is tablet and second one is tablet charger. So this is giving the correct result. Now what we'll do, we'll try to do a query DSL. If you don't know what is query DSL and how to write the spring boot, like how to write this query in the form of spring boot API, then I already have covered a lot of videos on my channel. You can go and watch it out. Here we are going to do the same thing. This query is working fine. We'll try to convert this query in the Spring Boot API, and then from there I will try to pass the partial text, and then we'll try to do a search. And whatever result we are getting, we'll try to list that result. Or let's say we want to display only the name of the products. So we'll try to create a list of the products, whatever we fetched here, and then simply return it. So that means you can see we are passing the partial text, we are getting the full result. So we'll try to create a list where we'll try to put the name of the products, and then we'll try to send it to the API, and that API can be consumed by the front end to show that this list of product as a auto suggest. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now. Now let me try to go to the IntelliJ and try to create a util class here, where we'll try to write the query, and then we'll try to create, or already have created the service impl class or product service class. We'll try to create a Elasticsearch method here, and then finally we'll try to create the API. Okay, so let's get started for that. So let me try to create the package called util here. Okay, so let me try to do that. New package util. Okay, and let me try to create a class called es util. Okay, and yeah, let me try to create couple of methods here which will be creating the query for us. Okay, so first of all we'll try to create the match query, and then match query method. Okay, so one method will create which will be returning the match query for us. Okay, and then that match query will be wrapped up in the supplier query, and then that supplier query method would be called inside the uh, Elasticsearch search method. And then when we'll get the result, we'll try to navigate that result to the API. So whatever I am telling you, I'm just going to write down here so you can get it. Okay, so let's say first of all I'm just going to create a static method which will be returning the match query for us. So why we are doing a match query? So in the Elasticsearch Kibana console, I already have showed you which query we are going to implement. So this is a match query, right? So that is why we are creating a match query here. or we are creating a method which will be creating a match query for us. So create autosuggest, let's say create autosuggest match query. Okay, and here we need to pass the product name, which will be the partial product name, right? So let me try to do, uh, let's say partial product name, something like that. And let me try to uh, create a variable, a value, you can say, let's say autosuggest, and new match query dot builder. Okay, let me try to import this. Well, why it is not importing? Okay, so it is imported. You can go here, and we are taking it this from the Lombok. So we are good now. What we did, we have created one value which is autosuggest query, and this is of match query type. Now we'll try to create our match query here. So just let me try to do this autosuggest query dot field. So on which field we want to apply the match query, and that field was name. Okay, and now let me try to do the query here, and the query we are passing the partial name, so partial product name, and then let's say if we'll go to the Kibana, here you can see we are also passing the analyzer. So let me try to do the analyzer as well. So just analyzer, and let's say the value of the analyzer is standard. If you'll come here, let me try to copy it from here, and then go there, put it here. Okay, so we are good. Now let me try to build this query dot build, and that's it. So what we did, we have created one value which is autosuggest query, which is of match query type, and then we are creating our match query exactly. So we are providing the field name on which we want to do the match query, and then in the query we are passing this parcel product name, and then analyzer is standard, and then we are building this query. So this is what we are doing here in the create autosuggest match query. Now we'll wrap this match query in the form of supplier query. So let me try to create one method here, and it is of supplier, and let's say query. Okay, now create supplier, you can say create supplier autosuggest. Okay, now here also we need to pass this, like we are going to call this match query inside this query. So let me try to pass this partial product name, and let me try to create one supplier type of reference. So query supplier query, and let's say its name is supplier. Okay, now we are going to create a supplier query here. Okay, so using Java expressions we can do that. All these things I already have covered in couple of my videos, so you can watch it out. So query of, and then we need to create a match query here. So q dot match. In the match query, we are passing the method that we have created, which is returning the match query. Okay, so let me try to copy this and come here. We need to pass the parcel product name, and that's it. Okay, now let me try to return the supplier out of this method. So return supplier. So we are good now. We did created the match query, and we have created the supplier query. Now let me try to create or let's say, yeah, let me try to create one Elasticsearch service method. Okay, and let me try to annotate this method with @service, and here we'll try to create one Elasticsearch method which will be consuming the supplier query. Okay, so let me try to do that. So we have created this Elasticsearch service method, and now what we need to do, we need to create the method which will be returning the search response. Okay, so let me try to do that. So let's say public search response, and in the search response we want product. Okay, and let's say auto suggest product. Okay, and here we need to pass the partial product name, so string, and let's say partial product and name. Okay, so we have created this method. Now inside the method we'll call the supplier query or supplier method, you can say. So let me try to create a reference here which would be of supplier type, where we'll try to catch the value from the supplier method. Okay, so supplier query, it is of query type, and so here you can see we are importing the wrong query. It should be coming from the Elasticsearch. Let me try to remove this, and let me try to query. You can see this query which is coming from the Elasticsearch, so you need to import this query. Okay, let me try to cross check in the Elasticsearch util as well. So yeah, this time it is coming from the Elasticsearch itself only. So go to the Elasticsearch service. Here we are creating one reference which would be holding out the value from the uh, supplier query method. Okay, so we need to call the supplier method here, right? If you'll go to the Elasticsearch util where the supplier method is there, you can see the supplier method modifier is static. That means with the help of class name, we can directly call this method. So go to the Elasticsearch service, and with the help of this class name Elasticsearch util, I'm just directly going to call the supplier method and passing the partial product name. Okay, so we have the supplier here, and now what we need to do, we need to call the search method of the Elasticsearch, and there we need to pass this supplier. Okay, so how we can call the search method of Elasticsearch? So for that we need to have the Elasticsearch client in our this class. Okay, so how we can integrate that? So for that I'm just going to auto where the Elasticsearch client here in this class. So how we can do that? So let me try to auto where the Elasticsearch reference here. So Elasticsearch client. Okay, so you can see above Elasticsearch client is coming from the Elasticsearch. So make sure you import the correct package. Now we have the Elasticsearch client. Just copy this, and with the help of this client we are going to call the search method of the Elasticsearch. Okay, so you can see this search method, and there we'll pass the supplier. Okay, so how we'll pass it? So with the help of Java 8, we are just going to call the index first, and here in the index we need to provide the index name. So the index that we have created is product. Okay, and products, and now we need to pass the query, and let me try to do that search. Let me try to put it down so that it will be visible. Minimize this and minimize this as well. So we have the Elasticsearch search, and its return type would be of search response. Okay, so let me try to catch this in a search response variable, and it would be a product. So let's say search response equal to this, and now we are calling the search on the Elasticsearch client, and we are passing the index. And now what we need to do, we need to pass the query as well. So let me try to pass the query here. So query, and in the query we are passing this supplier uh, method, or you can say supplier reference. With the help of supplier reference, we are just going to what I would say, extract out the query. Okay, so in the query we need to pass this supplier dot get. Okay, and what we need to do, this return type is of search response of product type, so we need to provide the class name which is returning out of this search. Okay, so that is all what we need to do. So we are good now. So what we did, we call the search method of the Elasticsearch client, and then there we pass the index as well as the query, and the return type would be product.class. Now let me try to print this whole query so that you can see when we are going to hit this API. So let me try to do a println, and let's say Elasticsearch autosuggest autosuggest, or you can say autosuggestion query. Okay, and here we'll try to log the query, so supplier dot get, and then let me try to make it in a string. Okay, so we are good. Now let me try to return this search response out of here. So that is all, and we are getting some error here. Why? I need think we need to throw some exception here. So yeah, you can see add exception at the method signature, we are throwing this IO exception. So we are good now. We have created this method which is calling the supplier and extracting out the query and providing that query to the search method of the Elasticsearch, and then returning the response to us. Now let me try to go to the controller. There I will try to create one controller, and there we'll try to call this autosuggest product method. Okay, so let me try to go there, and let's say this is the product controller. Here only I'm just going to create this API. So this API would be of get, and let's say it is autosuggest, and it will be returning the list of let's say string, and list of string means we are just returning the list of name of the product. Okay, so that we are doing, and let's say its name is auto suggest product search, something like that. And what we need to do, we need to pass the partial product name as a path variable. Let's say I'm just going to pass that. So partial product name. Okay, okay, so we are passing this as a path variable, and here also we need to do that. So path variable string partial product name. Okay, and let me try to write this method. So here what we are going to do, we are just going to call the autosuggest method that we have created inside the Elasticsearch service. Okay, so just copy this, and how we'll call, we'll try to create one reference of this Elasticsearch service method, sorry, service class. So how we have written for the product service. So let me try to auto add that. So private ES service and ES service. Okay, with the help of that, we are just going to call the method inside that ES service class, and its return type was search response. So let me try to create one reference for the search response here. Okay, search response of product type, and let's say search response is equal to, with the help of this ES service, we are just going to call the method. Okay, and there we need to pass the partial product name. Okay, now why we are getting some error? So I think, yeah, we need to throw the IO exception here as well. So let me try to do that. So throws IO exception. I think, yeah, we are good. Now we have the search response in our variable called search response, which we are getting from the autosuggest product method. Now what we'll do, we'll try to extract out hit out of this. Okay, list of hit out of this, and then from the list of hit we'll try to get the products, and then from product we'll try to get out the name. Okay, so let me try to do that. So list of hit of product, and let's say hit list equal to, let me try to minimize this. Okay, equal to, what we need to do, we need to call the search response dot hit, or you can say hits dot hits. So it will give you the list of hit of product. Okay, now we have the list, and now what we'll do, we'll try to iterate through the list. Okay, to get out the list of products. So let me try to create a list of product, a product list, and there will store the heated list of product. Okay, so let me try to call this for loop, and hit of, yeah, hit list. Now inside this we are just going to fetch one by one uh, the products that are in the hits, and we'll store or we'll add it in the product list. Okay, so let me try to do it, is it would be source, inside the source we have the product. So we are good now. Now what we need to do, let me try to create one list of a string, and there we'll try to store the names out of this product list. Okay, so list of product name. Okay, and we have to create one another loop where we are just going to iterate through the product list, and one by one we'll try to get the name and then add it to the list of product name dot add product dot get name. Okay, so we are good now, and finally we have to return this, so return the list of product name, and we are good. Now let me try to run this application and try to hit this API, and in the parcel name, for the first time let me try to pass either tablet or laptop. So anything we can pass, whatever product we have inserted there. So just wait for a few seconds, and till then let me try to create one find all request here in the postman. So let me try to duplicate this, and let's say it's a auto suggest API. Okay, and it would be HTTP. It would be like yeah, let me try to see what it is. So go to the IntelliJ, and here it is auto suggest, and then we need to pass the partial product name. So let's say this time I'm just passing the tab. So for class level mapping is API, and then for the method we have auto suggest, and then we need to pass the partial product name as a path variable. Okay, so we are good now. Let me try to hit it and then see. So okay, so this is failing. Let me try to see why. Product not marked as ignorable for properties price id name and the quantity and name. Okay, let me try to see what is the error. So we have the id, name, price, and the quantity, and we have inserted a couple of record or document in the index as well. So why we are getting this, let me try to rerun it and then see. So our application has started and it is on the port number 8080. And let me try to walk you through the API first. So we have created this API. We are passing the parcel product name as a path variable. And with the help of that product name, what we are doing, we are calling this autosuggest product method. In the autosuggest product method, we are calling this create supplier autosuggest, and we are passing the parcel product name. And yeah, we are going there. We have this create autosuggest match query method. In the match query, we are passing the field as name, and in the query, we are passing the parcel product name. Okay, and analyzer is standard, and then we are building it. So everything is looking good. Let me try to hit this API again and then see. So let me try to go up, and here we are getting something faster XML Jackson and unrecognized field underscore class. Okay, okay, okay. So let me try to go to the Elasticsearch. Now let me try to do a search here in the index called products. Okay, so you can see we are getting this result. If you'll go to the source, you can see this underscore class, which is a field here. And we have not defined this field inside our entity. Okay, so if you'll go there, you will see in the entity we don't have this underscore class. So we need to ignore that field here. So how we can do that? So we can do with the help of this JSON ignore properties, we can do that. So let me try to do this ignore unknown true. Okay, and then let me try to rerun this. Okay, so just wait for a few seconds. Once it is up, then what we can do, we can go to the postman and try to hit it again. So go to the controller and we have the auto suggest and parcel product name we need to pass. So go to the postman now, and here we are just passing the tablet. And let me try to go to the Elasticsearch, and here you can see we have tablet like in the products we have mobile, laptop, we have tablet, and we have the tablet charger, we have a mobile charger, we have the laptop charger. So everything is there. If you hit this search, then you can see the terms which are related to the tablet, like tablet and tablet charger, are being fetched here. So this is how like you can populate, or the front end can use this API to populate this list of the products that we fetched based upon the partial text or partial search as a auto suggest. Okay, so this is about the auto suggest implementation in the Spring Boot using Elasticsearch. So this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.